Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday, everybody. I had a great weekend. I had an opportunity to go home to South Carolina and get a lot of things done there and spend some time with my family, my brothers and my sister-in-law, my niece and my great niece, and really enjoyed my family this weekend. So it was really good to see them. Also, it's just a beautiful weekend and weather all together. It was really a nice weekend, and I'm certainly hope that you enjoyed your weekend as well. Want to give a big shout out to my guest on last week, Sir Chris, the artist. He came in and really brought some neat people into the Ladies Room Talk Show. And so they were able to really talk about their art and different little things that they did. And I thought that was really cool and really neat. And so if you missed that, be sure to go back to my show on last week and check that out, because it was really a fantastic show all about the arts as it relates to painting, as it relates to jewelry, as it relates to clothing and boutiques and crocheting and knitting and sewing and quilting, and all of these things were showcased on this weekend. So hopefully you were able to go out and really support such a really good event on yesterday and this weekend. So listen, I have a great guest coming into the Ladies Room Talk Show here tonight. She's a good friend of mine. We have the same first name. So Clarissa and Clarissa will be in the building on today. So I want to bring her in because she has a short window of time with me, and I want to maximize my time with Clarissa here tonight. So Clarissa, welcome to the Ladies Room.
Hello. Thank you for having me tonight. Appreciate you so much. I'm so humbled. Yeah.
Same here. You know, we've been friends for a long time, and
Yes.
we are what I call low maintenance friends. We don't have to hang out
Yes.
all the time. We don't have to talk every day. But when she picks up the phone and she needs me to something, I'm gonna always be there. And whenever I pick the phone up to need her something, like for this show here tonight, she's like, "Look, tell me what time, what I need to do." And she's busy. She's not even here right now. So she's busy. And so, but to be able to share and talk with me tonight, Clarissa, I am forever grateful. And now I definitely want to go ahead and jump right on into conversation. So a lot of people know you as the caregiver doctor, and that has been your title, your name for a very long time. That's how I know you as being that, and you're an advocate for our senior citizens. You're an advocate to make sure that they're getting the best care that can possibly be given. And you're also educating people for people who are in their 20s and their 30s, that in their minds, not right now, they're not even thinking about being a caregiver.
That's right.
So then when you get to my age, people who are my age and my friends, you are now caregivers. You're caring for your loved ones. You're caring for your parents. You're caring for people who are older and are able to care for themselves. And so I know what that looks like by being a caregiver. And it was a blessing and it was an honor to be able to care for my parents and for my in-laws. It was an honor and a privilege. And so that's why I really love what you do, because you're an advocate for those who are being cared for, but you're also an advocate for those who are caring. And those two things are very important. So Clarissa, just, tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself, about your company, your business that you do, and what it is an Alabama ambassador for family and care.
Yes. Started out 17, right out of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a native of Memphis. Came down here to Birmingham, graduated. My bachelor's is in occupational therapy. Spent the majority of my life in long-term care in nursing homes. And that by itself grew me, which now I'm saying that the elders have raised me, because I got started so early in it. Just watching the decline of people, I think that God has given me a special heart and a special calling. Clarissa, you initially said something about it's not for everybody, but everybody can do something.
Right.
Okay, so it is a calling. When you're dealing with people who are sick, the last thing they need is a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
They're already sick. The caregiver is already tired. So we have to really be careful and get trained on making sure that it's a calling that we can do something to help people instead of harming. We have enough harming going on. In fact, our elders are in trouble. And I don't have enough time to deal with that tonight. There's some stuff going on in the community. So the ambassadorship took 44 years on the front line. They talked about COVID. I was already on the front line before COVID even came. Now, COVID helped to change the trajectory of how we take care of people now, but 44 years of labor and seeing people die prematurely, seeing abuse and neglect, seeing families abandon their loved ones,
Mhm.
okay, and neglect and exploit. What I mean by exploit as well, taking advantage of them, waiting till the third of the month, getting their check. We're walking into situations now where they're coming from the hospital, they're in bad shape, and I'm going, where you been? Who was taking care of you? They've got
Mhm.
one leg all of a sudden now. They've had a stroke. Nobody's giving medicine. Nobody's checking on them. Every system that we have, Clarissa, is breaking down. God is not happy because we've got to get back to loving God, which is next to take care of ourselves as we can take care of other people.
Mhm.
If we break down as the caregivers, I'm with my mom right now. I'm in Mobile.
Mhm.
I'm tired. I'm tired. And you can only do your part because family members aren't sticking together. They're not working together. I now call it sibling abuse.
Mm.
You're abusing your loved ones who are doing the work. You're sitting back watching, doing nothing while they're doing all the work and their health is declining.
Mhm.
High blood pressure now I got, problems with cholesterol now I have. I got to
Mhm.
go and see the doctor every 6 months now. It's too much on one person, and we can die prematurely if we trying to do it all alone. The purpose of the ambassadorship is something that I believe God just let me walk in that door and got a chance to be with KIV and got that proclamation. And I said, we've got to do something or we're going to be finding people dead in their homes.
Mm.
Can I share with the story that I told you at the pre-conference about what happened?
Yeah,
Listen
absolutely.
at this, you all. Okay, real short story. A lady, 88 years old, the same age my mom. Okay, she was on the bed calling around trying to get her medicine. She was trying to call CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. They walked in on her. She had been dead in that house 3 days. Now, granted,
Oh.
she has 7 children. 3 days, she was nobody. The neighbor didn't knock on the door. 3 days. So when they found her, she had the cell phone. It was just there. They reached. They looked back and reviewed the cell phone previous calls. What she was trying to call out. She was
Mhm.
trying to call for her medicine, and she couldn't get nobody to come and get her medicine. We're gonna find more of that. She has children, grandchildren, great grandchildren. Where is everybody? Why can't we even call our aging parents? Now, obviously, we got issues, right? Most of
Right.
us have been traumatized. We're not gonna go down that road tonight. We can come back and deal with how do you deal with parents who have hurt you and how you let that go because you want God's blessing more than you want to worry about what happened in the past. We can't do nothing about the past.
Mhm.
But she died right there in our community, neighbors on east side in the front and the back, and 4 churches right there.
Mm.
4 churches. When they called me on this, I was like, I counted one down the street, it was two to the right, and it was one behind. We've got to get back. I want the pastors. I want the church minister leaders. I want the families to kind of work together. That's a part of the ambassadorship. We have 67 counties. My mission is to educate, to provide free training. We can tap the resources. Why is mom in the house all by herself? Why are you leaving somebody with dementia at home? Why we can't get groceries? When I go in, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, no bread, no peanut butter and jelly. Who's gonna stand up and say we can do this together? Because guess who's gonna have to do it? It's not gonna be the government. It's not gonna be your president. It's not gonna be the people that we voted in.
Right.
They're not gonna rescue us. They're not. This is our issue. So we got to work together, put aside our differences. Don't expect nobody to come down and look at what they're doing right now. They're
Mhm.
pulling resources away from the family. Now we've got to step up. We got to get with all the organizations like Janice Williams organizations. We got to
Yes.
be able to tap those organizations and build our own coalitions with the churches. That's a part of the church.
Yeah.
That's the home and the church and the school, businesses. That's the part of who's ever in your community. We got to do that. We cannot stop. There's no program that's coming. We cannot discard our elders.
Mhm.
We can't throw them
Mhm.
away. We can't do, we've got to be able to do our part, and that's what I'm doing. So it'll be a part of Clarissa, free training for caregivers, me working with the coalitions. I'm coming into churches you join. We got some blessings for you. I can't tell you what all that is. For coming aboard, we have blessings, things that are going to happen to your ministry, how you're going to be also recognized. It doesn't take a whole lot of people. Look at Jesus' model.
Right.
Turn the world upside down. We want a few people with a heart for people in love and compassion. We can train the rest. What we can't train is a bad attitude. We can teach the skill, but you got to have a great attitude and a willingness to love and be concerned for your brother man. Now, the other thing is, you'll see it again. Okay, we talked about the pre-conference a little bit about this. The same thing that you're pushing away from as a family member. I don't want to help. I don't have time. You'll need those same services yourself one day. The same thing that you're pushing away, you won't help. Somebody's exploiting you now because it's coming back. It's coming back. So a part of my job is to go out and educate. I do want to be linking up with some of the legislators. I am going to look at policy. Why we have money for everything else? Why is China and Japan and Norway and Sweden doing a better job than we are? And they're not as some of the richest countries. America's at the bottom third because we don't have a elder care system. We have Medicaid taking your property. That's all. I mean, you don't have any money in America. You've got to know somebody at least to be able to get things done. And we are in trouble. We are in trouble. The stuff, not to mention rural Alabama. What's going on in the Black Belt, what's going on in those areas is a lot going on. So my job is to take a look at, I'll be presenting to Congress what's going on and why you going to find your people in the house dead. If we don't get people trained and compassionate, reaching back and looking at the statistics and bringing the young people forward, it's not just older people. Older people are dying. Some people are too old to try to do this. They can't do it all by themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the mission. The mission is to educate, equip, train, and to prevent some of this abuse, neglect, exploitation, which is the number one crime against elders, is taking their money, hanging around at the third of the month. Older children are now moving in with their parents to exploit.
Yeah.
On my page the other day, there was an 88-year-old woman whose son killed him. Are you kidding? I almost came unhinged at the idea that how can you murder God's or go against God's moral law? Thou shalt not kill. Some basic stuff still stand. It's not just about an Old Testament. How are we treating each other? We are in trouble, and our children are watching. They're watching everything we're doing. We're in trouble. So a part of my job is to be positive, to work with the pastors who want to train and educate and use their churches as hubs for support. For group sessions and what I call grief management. Yeah, it's a lot that the churches can do, and we're called to do that, Clarissa. That's the purpose of the church, other than take up a collection. Oops, did I say that? Don't get me in trouble. Did I say that? It's more to it than us doing church. We're talking about doing real caregiving ministry, reaching out, going back to visit the sick, tracking your own people when they go to the hospital. The number one complaint I hear out here is that where's my deacon? Where's my pastor? Nobody even know I'm in a hospital. Families won't even call anymore. They've lost faith. We've got to get back to the basis of loving God, taking care of one another, honoring our parents. I'm going to deal with some of this. I'm not speaking what happened 50 years ago. We're not doing that anymore. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's time out for that. It's time out. We've got to look and see what can we do as a family and put people in position that want to help and give them the tools to be able to do that, Clarissa. They just can't say, I want to help. They got to have the tools.
You know, you mentioned Janice Williams. She works with Jefferson County Senior Coalition, something along that line. And when I first had brought my mother-in-law with us to care for. We're caregivers for over 7 years with her. She passed last year at 98. And so she had dementia and a couple other things. And by her being the age that she was, I'm sure several things that was going on in her body. And so I was able to do a tour with Janice's organization that she's with.
Good.
that gave me an idea. It put me in a whole space of how a 90-year-old would feel that has arthritis, a 90-year-old that's hard of hearing, a 90-year-old that's vision may be impaired, a 90-year-old that when they walk, they may walk on rocks. All of that. Whole ambiance was created, Clarissa. And so when I went through that assembled type setup, I was in a room and all of these things. And when I looked in the mirror, I did not look like myself. I'm like, what in the world? But that's how they feel when they look at themselves in the mirror. If they have dementia or dealing with Alzheimer's, what they see is not what we see. Even though they're looking through their own eyes, is something going on in the mental part of them. And so when I had an opportunity to go through that, I think it was maybe like a dementia tour.
Yeah, that tour. Dementia tour.
I mean, I had a whole nother view and respect at where she was at that moment. And so she would say certain things. I said, well, okay, and I had even more patience, and I've always had patience with her, but now I could understand and see it through her lens because I went through that tour. And I recommend any and everybody who was a caregiver, I don't care what your parent is going through or whatever, if you go through that tour, it just gives you another, I mean, to a point of coming to tears, because I'm thinking, my gosh, I'm walking with these rocks in my shoes, but that's how they feel every day because of the issues going on with their hands and feet. And, it was just something to experience.
And another thing, Clarissa, another thing is they're the most abused. Okay, so once my mom is in third stage, my mom is at the house. Okay, I'm not going to give you an opportunity to neglect mine. You won't get an opportunity to sling her around in a bed and treat her like she's a nobody. Okay, I'm not going to pay you $9,000 to put her in a nursing home and I got to fuss every day. Who's going to do that? No, we're going to keep her at the house. I understand everything's different, but I don't want to go to jail. See, because it's my mom. You put your hands on my mom, it's on up in here. So what I'm saying is they're at higher risk of being abused because of dementia. And those people who are taking care of the ones with dementia have a lot of more stress. Okay. They have to have extra patience. They have to have extra rest. And we don't even care enough about our own family members to give them a break. Okay. And it's one thing for you not to participate and give the money to the family or buy diapers or make sure she's got enough briefs but it's another thing not to provide relief. It's a lot of stress. Caregiving is not easy. Who said it was easy? It's not easy, but it's easier when we work together as a family. We put aside our differences and don't manipulate. We don't, just because we got the power of attorney, we're running everything, controlling everything. Our egos get in the way. And you said something earlier. We got men now stepping up. We got men. Men are creeping up on us. Men are stepping up, taking care of their wives, their mothers, their in-laws, their brothers. And we don't have time. Look at what the world is doing. I have to get out here now and prepare just for if there's starvation. I'm getting ready to go down that road. What should be in every house? How much medications you should already have there for your loved ones? How many bottles of water? We got to stop all this spending. We don't have time to buy a new weave every week. We got to wash it, curl it, and just stretch that money. We cannot spend we can't spend everything because it's coming down the pike. My job is to say, okay, I see it coming. If we don't prepare, who's gonna do it? Do you really think they're gonna come down and rescue us? We've got to do it. We have the tools. God has given us the call to do it, and we're gonna do it. I understand I won't be able to reach everybody. But I'm saying, God, put them in my path. Put the right pastors in my path who want to prepare their congregations. So they can go to that congregation. They got caregiving issues. They already got the videos on it. They got the materials. They got the workbooks. They got everything they can do to solve their own problems. Where are the resources in their area? They should know where that is, where they are. There's no doubt of that.
But Clarissa, this is the thing too. The people that are the age group, that the majority of age group right now that's actually going to church are caregiving age, which means that you mentioned something off air about the baby boomers. So the baby boomers are now being cared for. And they're being cared for like people like me in my age group. So if your church, the majority of your church is like in their 40s and up, They
Yes.
are caregivers. So you don't have to
Yes.
wonder who's a caregiver. Look at the age.
That's right. That's
Look
right.
at
And
the age.
by the way, I must do a disclaimer. I'm telling everybody after 40, forget it. Don't burn any more bridges. Okay, you don't know who you're gonna need. Just if it didn't work out, shake their hand, give them a hug, because the same people who won't help you gonna need the same services. Okay,
Mhm.
the same people say, "What you think? Somebody you came here, somebody was wiping your butt. Somebody wiped your butt when you had to get when you were here, when you were born."
Mhm.
When you leave here, somebody's gonna be wiping your butt, okay? And most likely it will be a woman, it'll be a female. Statistics show that most of the women are doing most of the abuse because we're doing the
Mm.
caregiving, okay? I hate to say that, but if whoever's giving the care, the majority of the people giving the care, those are the ones who are doing most of the abuse. How low down is that? We got some low down folk. And for us as a people, we know better. We know
Yeah.
what the people went before us. The people paved the way for you to be the host of this great show.
Mhm.
And for me to be able to be just humble to be a guest. We've got to do better. I'm going to give them the tools to do it. I'll be a resource. I've got to hit 67 counties. I am ready to go. I have already been what I call sanctioned by God to do this. I'm walking with boldness and because it's a calling. When you know your calling, you don't let anybody stop you. You have
Right.
God's protection. What you gonna do? This is all I want to do with my life for the rest of my life. I want to be able to impact the families, work through the conflict issues. You may not like this sister over here. Forget it. You didn't like her before. Now mama's sick. We gotta focus on mom now. We gotta focus on dad. We gotta focus on our
Right.
grandparents.
Right.
Stop all the small mindedness. We can't. But we have drank the Kool Aid. We drank the Kool-Aid. We drank the Kool-Aid. We are sucked in by what's going on in the world while our loved ones are dying. I had a lady who died like 3 weeks ago. She didn't die because she was sick. She was 95. She died because the broken heart. Where's my granddaughter?
Mhm.
Granddaughter didn't come. She raised all seven of them. Not one up there. But when she died, they're pulling TVs off the wall. I was fit to be tied. I said, "Don't you touch that TV. Put it back." Her body is still over there in the bed, just died, and the family. Forget the stuff.
Mhm.
Forget the stuff. Pulling what? I said, "What you doing?" Pulling the TVs off the wall. Do you hear me? Looking to my where my truck is. She's supposed to give me the truck. I'm not going there today because that's a whole nother topic about getting a wheel and all that stuff. That's a whole nother topic.
And
But
I'm going to
we
bring you back for that too. And we're really going to have a sit down conversation. I may even do it with the
oh, baby
audience
back.
because that it's really important. And I really want you to go into the fact when we talk again about a trust
Yeah,
versus a will. You know,
yeah,
some people think if I got a will, I'm good. But if you
yeah.
got multiple kids, you need to have more than just a will.
Right. That's
And
right.
so those are the types of things that I want you to discuss because the education is not getting where it needs to be in our
Right.
community. And as
Yeah.
you said, I do believe that churches need to be not only there to do a message or a service, but it's also there to provide resources to the community. There are
And
so
look,
many churches right now, Clarissa,
And
that
look, we got 12,000
are
churches
old
in the
people.
state of Alabama, 12,000 churches. And look at this. We're losing properties every day. We're messy. We're messy people. You got I'm seeing houses get turned into the state. All you got to do is pay your freaking taxes. And you got families fighting so much that the system steps in and nobody gets anything. I'm like,
Mm,
oh my goodness, all that historical property, inheritance, gone because you all are fighting over stuff, can't come together enough. You got so much money of African Americans right there in the state, they're making a killing. Okay, off of you all arguing over this, what you got there, how much money you got, what she gave you, parents playing favorites,
yeah.
don't have anything in writing. It's a mess out here. And then it's too late. They're
Mhm.
waiting too late, Clarissa. They're
Yeah.
not prepared. You think when your parent first falls the first time, we're gonna talk about that. When they first fall, boom. First thing you do is start make sure things are in order. That's usually a sign something's going on with your loved one. That first
Mhm.
fall, they
Mhm.
first hit the dehydration, a
Right.
UTI, they're going down the hill, they're declining. We're gonna talk about that.
Mhm.
And you're waiting too late. You're waiting until people got their hands on your stuff. When
Mhm.
they alert is when the time you need to put this in writing to protect what they work for. Okay, and my children ain't getting nothing, they abandon me. Okay? You abandoned me, all
Right.
the work and sacrifice, paying you through college, wiping
Mhm.
your little stinky butt. dabbing your nose. You think I'm gonna leave you stuff and you'll put me in a facility? It ain't happening. No, we gotta put this in writing. So we gotta start putting things in writing. Black people, we gotta do better. I said I was gonna behave. I'm trying to behave, Clarissa. I'm behaving on
Look,
your show. It's a lot of. I got so much. I can't. We are so messy. Look,
yeah.
we're so messy. We're so messy, and we're so selfish as a people that we're gonna lose more than we gain. We're gonna take 2 steps backward and maybe 1/2 of an inch forward because we're not working together. We'd rather fight each other. We'd rather fight each other than to come together and say, "This is the plan. This is
Right.
what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna respect our parents even in their death."
Mm.
And honoring our parents is pretty much gone because now you got a generation who we've taught to be selfish. It's not their fault. We taught
Yep.
them. We kicked our kids to the side. We
Mhm.
gave our children to the world. How you not know where your child is at 5 o'clock? How do you not know who's? How do you not know where your child is at 1 p.m. on a Saturday night? How you not know that? Okay, you need to go to jail. How you not you working? How you leave an 8-year-old with a 12-year-old and wonder why she got molested? It's a
Mm.
lot of issues. It's stuff that we can do better that
Right.
we're not doing, and we blame everybody for everything for us. This ain't about politics. We blaming everybody, blaming the man, blaming the cousin, blaming the grandparent, instead of looking at ourselves and say, "Hey, can't nobody grab our children
Mm.
but us?" For us,
Mm. That's right.
the church has a role, the home has a role, the male has a role, but we're not working together. We're not working together, and we're in a mess. And so that's my job, is to kind of debug that, go out here and talk to the churches, put things in place, look at the demographics of that church, which is 75% women.
Mm.
A lot of them sitting on the pews like they're impressing God, warming that pew up. And we've got to do more. We have gifted people out here, God, people that God want to use.
Right.
And I'm going, hey, with my master's in biblical studies, I'm going to be able to look at those people, look at their gifts and talents, and put them to work right there where they are. You're only happy if you're giving back.
Right.
I think I'm the happiest person, one of the happiest people in the world. You know, I'm divorced, but I'm
Mm.
happy. I'm a happy person. I'm on a mission. I don't have time to sit around and talk and gossip and get on the phone for mess. It's
Mhm.
time out. It's time out. It's time out. You got some more questions for me? Because I could keep going.
Well, listen, I was just thinking about, my word for this year is intentionality, being
Okay.
intentional about everything that I'm doing. And
Okay.
so, because the word intentional is so important, we can just arbitrarily just go around and do things. But if we're not intentional about it, anything can take us off course. But if we're intentional, that means that we're alert. That means that we're watchful,
That's
and that
right.
means that we're vigilant. And that means that we're already prepped that
Yes.
something may come to distract us.
Yes.
But
Preach.
if we're
Preach.
intentional about it, nothing can snatch us off of our goal, and nothing can take us off course
That's
of
right.
what we've been called to do. And I
That's
heard
right.
you say something earlier about being called to do something,
Yeah. Yeah.
knowing that what you have a passion about, what you
Mhm.
are naturally gifted for,
That's
that's
right.
what you're called to do.
Right.
And
That's
so
right.
I know by listening to you that your passion is to care for the elderly. Your passion is to be the ambassador for those who can't speak for
Come
themselves,
on.
those who can't support themselves, those who can't represent themselves. And that is a need. I'll give you an example of something I saw years ago. And I went to the doctor's office. I was at the doctor's office, and I was just kind of waiting to be seen. And then an older lady came in, and she said that she didn't have an appointment. She was coming in to make an appointment. Well, she was probably in her 70s, late 70s, early 80s. And so, but they said, well, you have to go online. And so clearly, she was not tech savvy. Clearly, she didn't know how to use
Yeah.
a computer, and clearly she didn't have a smartphone because she drove all the way there to get some help. These girls never helped her.
Yeah.
They sent her on her way with, and you mentioned that attitude earlier, with
Yeah.
an attitude. And they
Yeah.
were like, well, you have to go to a computer and you have to go online and schedule your appointment. And she said, well, I don't really quite understand. Well, that's the only way we can do it. And so she kind of stood there a little bit, and then she left. My heart went out
Yes.
to her.
Yeah. Yes.
Because now, if she's having issues with can't get a doctor's appointment because she doesn't know how to work a computer,
That's right.
you
That's
can't, you don't have a smartphone, you're still using a flip phone.
right.
And when you call, they're taking you through
Yeah.
these automations, but
Yeah.
they need help with those types of things. And people think that, hey, we're in a time now, everybody's using computers and
So,
everyone has smartphones. If
no.
that was the case, then Verizon wouldn't make the latest 2026 flip phones today, because I know they got them because I saw them. So, there are still
Okay.
people who use those, and those still people who
That's right.
need those. And
Yes.
so that it bothers me, because
Yes.
sometimes the young people don't have the patience to
That's
walk
right.
their elderly through getting online and going on computers and stuff. They don't. I have a very dear friend now that's 85 years old. Whenever she needs anything technical from me, Clarissa, I drop what I'm doing and I
There you
go and
go.
I help her.
You
And I'm
go.
going
You
to
go.
always do that for her, because she has that need. And she has a smartphone now, and she sends little text emojis too. So she's savvy. But there's still some things that she needs help with that she's naturally just not going to be able to get it. And I was going to say earlier about, and this is not all churches, but there are churches out there, Clarissa, that have thrown the elderly away. And when they think about elderly, baby, they thinking 50 and older. Not 70 and older. They're thinking 50 and older, that they have no relevance, that they don't bring anything to the table. They're trying to be fresh. They're trying to be new. They're trying to be all these things. But see, you're trying to make me bad now, Clarissa.
No, no,
But
you just said it's a leadership issue. You just said that. Okay, that's out the box, because everything rises and falls on leadership. And when you're talking about churches, that's what we're called to do. We've lost our way. We've
right,
got stuffed up into the fashion and the form and all the. No, God's not interested in that. It's a heart thing with God. What is your heart? When we take care of the people, God takes care of the tithes and offers.
mm,
Okay, the offerings that go with that, God would take care of it. Do you realize most of us were raised with nothing? I'm
mm,
one of them, a project kid, grew up in the hood. So it's not where you've been, it's where you're going. When you give back, God's going to provide for you. You don't have to stress about it. And far as the technology, what you think? You got elders who have billions of scams every year. She's a high target person for being scammed because she can't work the system. We had a guy who did his finger like the little digital palm where you just put your name
right,
in. He put his name in, opened up all his finances. They cleaned him out. He was at the
mm,
bank being cleaned out because he didn't know what he was pushing. He didn't know what he was doing.
right,
So that's a part of the whole curriculum. I got a 10 module course that churches will be able to suck in as well as other resources. Somebody's sick, they should be able to know what the resources are in their
mm,
time. But you
right,
also got to be careful because people are taking. People
right,
are looking to scam. Older people are at risk for
yeah,
being robbed. And I just went to the gun range yesterday. Okay, at my age, my old butt went to the gun range. I was shocked. Okay, I asked them, "Did you have what are elders gonna do in their home?" I was traumatized by all the bullets that I was hearing, and they told me they had nothing for elders at the sheriff's office. I'm like, "What you mean?" So elders are now just sitting ducks, waiting for somebody to just walk in and rob them. We have forgotten about the people who brought us across the bridge that brought us across, and we're in trouble. We cannot forget about the people who brought us across. There's a part I'm gonna have a mouth about abuse, neglect, financial exploitation. What to do about those people? Okay, what to do about your low down family members who all they want to do is take? What you gonna do about those? How can you protect your loved ones? Don't let your love, and then we're silent about it.
yeah,
That's what gets me. We're silent. We're not saying anything. We're not saying anything. We're complicit in it. You know that somebody's tampering with your grandma's money. You know that they're using that money for drugs. You're not saying anything. The blood is on your hands. You're not Potiphar.
mm,
Potiphar said, my hands need to be, your hands are not clean. And we've just got to do, it's so much information. You brought up so many topics, but if you let me come next time, we'll break it down a little bit and give people some clear strategies and where to go to get that help, where to go get that free will. You can write it's a free over 60, there's a place to go get a will. Why are you not putting things in writing?
mm,
My dad's property was left in his visor on the car. When I went to his car after he died, I looked down. There it was, a life insurance policy. Your family members don't come around a lot unless it's something for them, okay? Unless
yeah,
they're going to get something out of it. Greedy, selfish, all about them, sitting in the cut. Won't help nobody do anything, but you want to be the first one to receive.
right,
God ain't with it. and he's
Mm-hmm.
not with it. And I want to say something to the men, to be real careful, because I'm seeing a trend of men that aren't married and they're in bad shape. It's a reason why a woman, God is not a man, God is a spirit. It's a reason why you got one leg. Okay, there's a reason why nobody wants to hit. You've been low down when you were up on your feet, and that goes for men and women. You were low down in, and God said, "Okay, all right, well, it's time for you to suffer." Okay, because you've been low down all your life. Now you want somebody to wipe the crack of your butt, and we're not. Look, your ex-wife ain't coming because you were low down to her. It's so many relational issues that are going on. And I'm telling the guys just to be nice. Don't burn any bridges, even with your ex-girlfriends now, because you don't even know who you're going to need with that. That ex-wife may not want to come now because you were hitting on her when she was up walking around. You were beating on her, abusing her. It goes both ways. Women are exempt. I want to say that. Don't act like our plate's not. Women are the new players.
Mm-hmm.
We're the new players now. Yeah, we can manipulate now. It's a whole new game out here. The brothers, y'all behind. The women got the game now. Just forget it. Treat everybody right is my motto. Do what you can for people while you can. Serve the Lord. Work as though you're working for God. And when
Yeah.
you do that, things like Clarissa said, they fall in place. Not just what you say, but what you do. And they got to line up. It's like a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They say they love you, but they don't never do anything to help you. How is that love? Love is what love does.
Right.
You gotta put Jesus the greatest caregiver. If you go over Jesus' model, you'll see how he went in the church all the time. He went in there to do a little teaching. Where did he go? Community ministry. We got the model. I wrote the ebook. It's coming. It's already here. What did he do? How did he reach people? He left the building, went to the freaking community,
Mm-hmm.
healed and the sick. So he wasn't in there waiting for a sermon. He
Mm-hmm.
was the sermon. And we've just got to get back to that. And I'm encouraged. I'm excited about it. I won't always be as polished as you all want me to be.
Hey,
There's
listen.
a place,
Look,
there's a
I
place
don't
for that.
want you polished. I
And
don't want
I
you.
know
I
how
want
to do
you
that now. I can teach it. I can go. But at this age, you lose
right.
some of your filter. You
Yeah.
just kind of
Oh
see it.
yes.
You see it, and you just kind of how you calling it. And I've got 40. It'll be 45 years at this now, and four
Mm,
degrees. Okay, over 23 books, over 50 children's books. I'm getting ready to bring the whole generation with us. We are not going to leave our children behind. We've got to expose them early. You'll see my curriculum in schools about caregiving because we got to do what the other races are doing. China and Japan, they revere their elderly. That's why they live the longest. Look at their expectation of life. They respect their elderly. We're the opposite. We're all about individuality. They're all about the community. The whole
mm,
they grow up knowing mom and dad gonna stay with them. They're gonna build it. They got a room for them. Don't worry about it. You're not going to the facility. You're gonna live with us. That's a whole different culture. Our culture is about self, greed, looking out for yourself. And when you can't wipe your own butt, you're gonna have to depend on somebody else to do it.
mm.
It's just start. We gotta regroup. And I'm excited. I got to testify before Congress at the end of the year, and I'm excited about laying some of this out about what we're gonna do about it. And I can't do it by myself. I'm gonna need the Clarissas of the world. I'm gonna need the legislative. We're gonna need some policy change. We're gonna need some money. Hello, some money, some millions to put. We're gonna need churches are gonna need to be fruitful. The churches can't do it all. They can't bury you, wed you, and we lean on them too much. And we
Right.
we sucking the lifeblood out of a lot of them. So it's just a lot, and I'm excited about the ambassadorship. I want an ambassador in every county is where I'm going. I want somebody to represent. Even though I'm the lead, I want somebody in every county I can call and say, "Hey, we got to get those three over there." We got how many deaths this year? I need the statistics on what's
Right.
going on in those areas. So that's where I'm going by the end of the year. I want at least one in every county and continue to educate. And I appreciate you for having me on. I'm so excited.
Oh,
It's an
I
honor.
am.
It's an honor. It's an
I am
honor.
excited too because this really, I really believe it was God that prompted me to reach out to you during this time because so many people are here right now. We are here. We are here right
Okay.
now. We are caring for our loved ones. Both of my parents now deceased. But there was a time where I was caring for them,
Wow.
and with great honor and great dignity.
Mm.
I want you to speak, because what I like to do is with my guests, because we're 40 minutes in, I promised you 30, so you know how we do.
Oh,
But before we go, I'm going to bring you into the show by yourself for a second. But I really want you to encourage. I know you got a word to encourage our caregivers. I have people right now on this live
yeah.
who are caregivers. And
Yes.
if you can encourage them, Clarissa, you
Yes.
mentioned something about them being tired. And this is
Yes.
the thing,
Yes.
when you're caregiving
Yeah.
and you're caring for your loved one,
Yeah.
there are multiple emotions.
Yeah.
Number one, you're upset at the fact that it's happening.
That's right.
Number two, you're seeing a very slow decline of somebody that used to be your Superman and that used to be
Yes.
your
Yes.
Superwoman. And you're
Yes.
seeing this very slow decline. It's not a darn thing you can do about it, but sit there
Yes.
and watch it and help it in the best way that you can. So there are emotions in with this. You're tired physically, but you're also tired emotionally because you just don't like what you see.
Yeah.
Can you speak to those people tonight and
Yes.
give them an
Yes.
encouraging word?
And that's why I'm here. I'm not talking about textbook. I'm talking about what I know. We serve a God who's good. We serve a God who won't leave us or forsake us. What we have to do is not die prematurely in the process of taking care of somebody else. Okay. My health fell so fast. This thing I know, I'm going to the doctor, all these diagnoses. I had to pull back because we are emptying out ourselves on sometimes people who don't care nothing about us. If you drop dead tomorrow, how many people gonna say, "Oh, she should have taken a break"? I'm telling you, you gotta plan your break. You can't wait on them to give it to you. You gotta take it. It's called respite. You gotta get away for a while and enjoy yourself. Go take yourself out for a good meal. That's what I do once a week. I go and sit down by myself, have a good meal. Another thing, stress will kill you. I want you to get a blood pressure cuff like I did. I want you to start checking your blood pressure. I need you to start drinking that water. I need you to start walking at least once or twice a week. I need you to walk by yourself. You need to start turning that phone off at a certain time. How are you going to help somebody and you declining? Caregivers are dying prematurely from the stress of it all. And your family members sitting around watching, don't worry about them. Just do what you can do, what God has given you within your power and your strength and your love to do what you can do. You can't do it all. You're setting yourself up heart attacks and strokes, okay, and heart disease, which is rising, particularly with Black women because of the stress. We're taking care of mama, we're taking care of our kids, we run around for grandchildren, we got great grandchildren, the club sandwich generation, we're squeezed. Then most of us are working jobs, working 20 plus hours a week, and taking care of a loved one. We're running on fumes, and it's not gonna work. Okay, the Clarissas of the world can tell you that. It's not gonna work. You gotta sit back, find out who you can pull around you, what's your support system. It's not about the blood. When I talk about family, I'm not talking about family for blood. I'm talking about who loves you. That's the new blood. The new blood is not your relatives. It's the people who love you, who have a heart for you. That may not be your family members. That may be a girlfriend who can come and sit with mom. Okay? She's your friend, but she's sitting with mom. You got to pull in at least 5 people to come around you. They got to have at least, you need at least five, a plan, a team of 5. So you can say, hey, I can't do this today. And then you got to be able to say, no, I can't do it because I'm tired. Okay, on Friday night, I don't talk to people on Friday night. I'm all give out. I'm all emotional, drained. Okay, so Friday night, don't call. I won't answer the phone. I am in the bed with that raggedy gown on. Okay, and I got my feet up on the bed. I may be eating some popcorn or drinking something, and I'm not talking to anybody because you got to debrief. And God requires that even God rested. Don't be a fool and then have people looking down at you, won't even come to your online funeral because you didn't stop and take care of yourself. People gonna allow it. They're gonna run you raggedy, okay, if you let them. So you gotta pull back and say, I love myself. I want to be around for my family. I want to be around for my children and my grands. How you gonna do that if you're not taking care of yourself? Then going to the doctor. Oh my God, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Had to go. Your blood pressure. You're a little bit overweight. All this stuff that happens when you're 60. Okay, when you're 60, everything and up. I'm 60 and up. When you're at my age, everything that your parents had, you get it. If they had high blood pressure, if they had borderline diabetes, you gotta be on top of all that so you can prevent a lot of the diseases and keep doing what God has called you to do. You can't work out God's call for your life if you're sick. I don't need you sick. I need you built up. I need you encouraged. I need you getting that stress off you, going to the gym, walking, and you can do it. You can do it. You just got to plan out your day. Tell some people, no, I can't do it, and relax yourself. Find some time that you can pull away. And some things just may have to go lacking, right? They'll get it done. Maybe you need to get out the way. Maybe you're in the way. Maybe you're trying to do everything. Maybe it's your fault as a caregiver because you're so involved, you're so invested in the situation, and maybe you're addicted to care. I ain't saying much about that today, but you can be addicted to care, feeling needed and feeling important. Folk don't care about you like that. You better care about yourself. Care about yourself. That's what you can do for me. Call me up and say, okay, this is what I'm doing for myself. Go in my box and say, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna change. So you can be around to impact the world. You can be around to give back. You can't do that if you've had a mild stroke. I need you active. I need you healthy. I need you making a difference and doing what you can do one day at a time. And that's all we have is one day at a time. Does that help, Clarissa? Is that, and you know that God will never leave you or forsake you. That He gives us enough common sense to say, okay, this is what you can do now. This is what you can't do right now. This is what you'll try to do. And sometimes I just can't get to it. I
Mhm.
can't. No, I can't do it. I can't. I can't make it happen. Because if you don't take care of this vessel, the temple that He's given you will wear it down.
Right.
Your all your bones will start aching.
Mhm.
Everything start. Your body gives us signs. My body was giving me signs. I was like, not the great Clarissa.
Mhm.
No, I was affected. So thank you for the opportunity. I talked a little fast. We can, in the future, we can break some of that information down. But there's some specific things I can't say on the air
Right.
about some stuff that I'm taking now, some medicine I'm not taking, but some herbs, some stuff I'm taking is kind of, I'm like, what? They didn't tell me about that herb. And it's just
Right.
things that I know now that I have to research myself.
Mhm.
And I thank you so much for having me today. And I'm humbled to be in your presence. And maybe you'll find it in your heart to bring me back one day. And I hope I didn't offend too many people. I just had to kind of give a summary of how things are and what the future looks like. I think the future is bright with
Right.
people like you who are getting the word out here, and everybody has a part to play.
Amen. I'm grateful. And we talked before you came on the air. You was like, look, how much of me can I be? I said, I want 100% Clarissa, because that's how I'm gonna give it 100%. And I'm very grateful for that. And I know we're far spent, but I knew once we started talking, it was gonna be more than 30 minutes. But I'm very grateful for you sharing, because I know that people who are watching live, they will share this post. And I'm gonna ask you now, guys, to please go ahead and share this post with your network of friends. Get the link, text it to your friends, get the link, share it over to your post, inbox it to people that you know that are caregivers. And
Mhm.
sometimes you may not know that they are. They operate in silence. If they're 40 and over, more than likely they're a caregiver. And so get that information out to her. Clarissa, you said something really, really beautiful. And a lot of people are looking to their family members to care for them. And naturally, that's what you do. But you said it's the new blood. And so don't refuse the hand of the new blood. The new blood is maybe your best friend or your girlfriend or maybe a cousin or whomever.
Yes.
That could be the new blood that's put in place by God to be
Yeah.
there for you.
Yes.
And so I'm so happy that you said that. I'm happy about the fact that you say if you're over 40, don't burn a bridge, because you're gonna need everybody you come in contact with. And so this word here, I think, was really good. It's something the elderly senior citizens, they are dear to my heart. Always
Mhm.
have been. And so I'm so glad that you came in, and I love what you do, Clarissa, because you are representing a great group of people. And if we're blessed enough, we'll be a part of that number of the senior citizens. And
That's right.
so, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what you do, and I'm definitely going to have you come back. I want to talk to you about an idea that I got during the show, and so we'll talk about that later. I know you need to get on the road, but again, listen. Thank you, Clarissa, for hanging out with me
Thank you
tonight.
so much for having me. I appreciate you all. Thank you so
Yes, it
much,
was a great
Clarissa.
show.
Keep up
Great,
the
great.
great work.
Thank you, and same
God
to
bless
you.
you.
Same to you.
Okay.
All right,
Bye-bye.
guys. Thank you so much for joining us inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. You had an opportunity to experience the Clarissas inside the Ladies Room, and both of us can be a bit much, but I think we're both good with that. So, again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please share this with your network of friends. Believe me, this information is critically important. Get the information out. It is important. Reach out to Dr. Clarissa. Check her out. Go to her Facebook page. Hit like, follow that, follow her, follow the caregiver, Dr. Clarissa. Before we go, please give them information on how they can contact you and where they can find you.
Well, the best way is to, the nonprofit is caregivinginternational.org. They can go to caregivinginternational.org. But the quickest way is just go to Facebook. I've got it's under Clarissa Phil Smith. And you'll see the ambassador page right there. And I also have a website, caregivingdoctor.com. But the quickest way is to go in my box on Facebook, and then I'll reach back to you and get some coalition going or see what your needs are. So I have a team of people working with me. It's not me working by myself. It's a group of us who are together, the board members, and we're trying to really expand that. Anybody that has free time, we welcome you. If you want to make a difference, we welcome you. We're not closed off. I don't care what color you are. Caregiving doesn't have a color. I didn't talk about that tonight. It doesn't matter what color. I don't care about that. I'm not colorblind though. Okay, but I don't care about that. So it's just a matter of us connecting together, and that's what I want to do.
Right. There you have it, guys. Go out there, reach out. You're in the process. You feel like you're called to do this. She is the one to get in contact with, and she's welcoming all those who are called.
Yeah,
To do
that's right.
So, guys, listen again. Have a great and wonderful week. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated because it's getting hot. The temperatures are rising, but just enjoy this week. Stay safe. Stay the course, and we'll see you back here next week inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. Good night.
Right.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa.